one is this?
Let me restart this countdown.
Okay.
Hey everybody, it's me, Derek the Chocolate Botanist. We are here on the Dirt on Gardening podcast. I am so excited to be seeing you all. We are on Facebook. I keep wanting to say Facebook. I don't know why. We are on Instagram at Andre the Farmer. You are not in the wrong place. You're not used to seeing my face. Why did I rhyme? I do it all the time. But we're also here on the YouTube. I want you to make sure you put some comments and stuff at the bottom because we are continuing our conversation on nutrition, nutrients, and all of that additional good stuff. We're getting straight to the bottom of it, straight to the scoop, straight to the poop, as some people say. And I think we should just go ahead and jump in with the people I am ever so excited to have who are here with me, So let's go ahead. How y'all doing on today?
I am fantastic. How are you, gentlemen?
Oh my goodness, I am good. I am so good. So, we here talking with the people. We all on the social media. They're typing their comments and their questions. So, Andre, what you do this weekend?
I drove up to Atlanta this weekend to go visit my son for his birthday. He's graduating from Georgia Tech this year. And
happy birthday, Andre, son.
Happy birthday.
And, I realize I'm definitely not built for the city. Like, I have a truck and trying to drive a pickup truck around, and I've got an extra long bed and a full cab. So it's a long truck. And trying to maneuver that around the city of Atlanta is not a lot of fun.
No. Yeah. See, Andre, what you do is you just get in that truck and drive, and people going to get out your way.
Exactly. They see you coming. They're going to move.
The 7-hour drive there and back was not fun either, but we made it, and we had a really good time in Atlanta. It's a wonderful city. It's very expensive. Like just the smallest things cost a fortune, and everybody wants 25% on top of whatever you're paying. So it's a wonderful city, but you got to have a little money and a small car.
Oh, we got Lanita 6979. Hey there, how's it going?
She is watching from the YouTube. And remember, if you want to watch us on the Instagram, do that. But on the YouTube, we can throw your comments up until the StreamYards makes a change where we can do that up there. So, Gray, what you get into this weekend? What you been up to?
Oh, man, I have had a fantastic weekend because I got some great news. You guys may recall that back in October, I flew to the wonderful state of Maine to work on this epic project with some epic gardeners. I filmed a project with Epic Gardening for the Home Depot, and that miniseries that we have coming out on the Home Depot channel is going to be running live on May 6th. So set your calendars, and you get to see yours truly alongside Jock, Chai Ming, and Aaron, and we're going to do this huge garden makeover. Please come join us on the Home Depot channel, and that's going to be on March 6th. So I'm super excited about that, number one. Number two.
That's amazing.
Number two, we just had a launch of the What to Grow in March video, again on Epic Gardening. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm a little vain because I love hanging out in the comments and see what people are talking about. And people's like, oh, we love Gray's voice. And I'm like, yes, I want to hear more of that. What else about Gray?
You're like, my precious, yes. Tell me more about my voice. I love it.
Just the process. We love the garden.
We love the comments. Gives us more comments. I love that for you. I love that for you. Congratulations. A round of applause in the comments, please.
Thank you, brother. Now, what about you? What did you do, though?
Okay, I think one more thing before. One more thing that happened this weekend is I went through the backyard and we did the pruning to see what was alive and what was dead. And
Oh, no.
there are several mango trees that I believe are not coming back, including a really big, thick trunk mango tree that is pretty brown all the way through at the trunk. So I think we lost a couple trees, but I think the majority of trees are going to make it back. They posted some videos of a full tour of the garden. You can see that on YouTube. And it's kind of sad right now, but I would say 70% of everything back there is going to come back, and some of it's going to come back bigger and better.
I hope so.
Yes. Andre, I saw that as soon as it came out. And Lanita says March 6th or May 6th. Sorry, I misspoke. Those M months kind of get me, but it's March 6th. So it's in like 3 days. Yeah, 3 days. So March 6th.
Congratulations, Shayla, again, doing the Home Depot.
Oh, thank you. The Home Depot. I saw the video when it came out last night, and dude, like my heart literally sank because one, guys, if you've never been to Andre's, it is amazing. Yeah, we see the videos and everything on YouTube and you see it, but seeing it in person, it is like a real deal out there. And when I saw, which one was that? It's like a good 20-foot tree, and I mean brown all the way to the core. Like, dude, my heart was just like,
Valencia Pride. Valencia Pride. Yeah, it was brown. And who knows? There may be something at the center that's still alive and might be pushing a little life up in there, but it is what it is, right? And my philosophy is never get attached to things, right? And every one of them is a thing. They're all replaceable. They're all just things. So.
I'm glad. So, before we talk about what I did this weekend, Gray, I got to ask you a question. So you said you have seen Andre's property before, like in person.
Yeah, in person.
How many days did it take you to walk around all of it? Because that's like so many acres. Like, did you have to take a walk and then get a golf cart back and then take a walk the next day? Like, how many? Was it 6 days? Like, that's a lot of property he got. So I imagine it took you
1/2 acre. The food forest is 1/2 acre.
No, that's just the 1/2 acre of the 1,000.
It took me 40 days and 40 nights. I had to pack a rucksack. So you're absolutely spot on, Derek.
I was wondering because I was like, did you have to get a little sandwich when you go on a field trip? Because I'm like, how many hours did it take for you to see this property? And I know you're healthy and you're vegan and everything, but I imagine you had to have a bag of water. My weekend was pretty chill. It has been fall spring here. In North Carolina. It's been there was one day where it was beautifully warm. I was ever so excited. I had a video I did. It was way too long. I don't know how I'm going to edit this video where I re-put up this stuff behind me. I'm in a different area of my apartment today. I had to take all of this down because the maintenance people were like, we going to go into your walls and look into the electricity. He didn't say like that. He had a Hispanic accent. I don't feel like doing that. And he didn't do none of the sort. So I took all of this down and then had to remember how to put it back up. And I was like, this took me so much ever. So I got it way different. Got my plants up here, knocked some stuff over. Very chill weekend. Such a chill weekend. But I know we got a guest. And Gray, can you do the honors of bringing our guest on?
Yes. Well, we have a very wonderful person that's coming on. And I got to give you a little bit of a backstory. So many moons ago, I was at this little event, an event that me and myself and Andre are going to be going to in Houston. And this event is called PlantCon. And so I was at PlantCon Dallas, and I'm there just kind of scoping things out there, working as a volunteer. And this wonderful gentleman by the name of Nate comes up to me. It was like, hey, so what's this PlantCon thing? I'm supposed to be inside. How do I get there? I was like, dude, follow me. And so I walked him up to the head of the line, got him into PlantCon. And then ever since then, we have been like brothers from another mother. So without much further ado, here is Nate from Classy Rabbit. Nate, thank you for joining us, sir.
Happy to be here, bud. If I can be honest, I'm only here to listen to your movie star voice. So sorry, Derek. Sorry, Andre. Can I ask the questions just so you can answer them and I just sit here and listen?
All right. But yeah, so it's great to have you here, Nate. If you could tell the people a little bit more about you, your background and what it is you bring to the equation. Now, of course, today we do have our topic of discussion and we will be taking questions, but I want to give Nate the floor if that's all right with everybody.
I can tell you about myself. How far back do you want me to go?
Well, are you really on rabbits? Is the question on people's minds right now.
Yeah, I love rabbits. Rabbits are pretty special. In fact, I've said a number of times, probably too many times for comfort, but I do believe rabbits can save the world, not just because of what they give us as a gift out of their butts, but because they're just a generally broad use animal.
They're a good food source, right?
Yeah. They really are. They taste great. People say they taste like chicken. I don't tend to disagree, but they're more economical to raise compared to chickens anyway. But little anecdote: I was in Rwanda recently, and the archbishop of the country asked me if I'd come back and teach their country how to farm rabbits because they've got a deficiency in protein, and they thought maybe is that it's really could save the world. Doesn't take them long to do what they do, and cared for the right way, then they really can solve a lot of problems.
You know, Nate, I'm glad you said that, because as you guys were talking about, protein source, and I know myself being the one person in this whole chat that does not eat meat, I still have no question about anyone eating meat. But I heard this term before that I was not familiar with. And Andre, I just realized something, dude. We're matching. Permaculture life.
We are matching.
But anyway, I digress. Andre, you're an avid hunter. Have you heard of the term rabbit famine?
Well, you can't if you're only eating rabbit. I believe because they're so lean, you cannot just eat rabbit. Like you could eat rabbit with a mixed diet and such. But if you were starving in somewhere and the only thing to eat were rabbits, then you would have some health problems that would arise. I'm not sure. I can't remember all the technicalities of it. But within a regular diet, as rabbit is your protein, that's fine. Just you're starving in the woods and you only eat rabbits, you're gonna have problems.
Yeah, because you got to have that fat source. I've seen, because I like a lot of those survival shows that my wife will never let me go on, but like the show Alone and stuff, and where this one young lady, all she was doing was eating rabbits. She had rabbits. She was catching these rabbits, but she had no fat source, and so it was just like she hadn't eaten anything at all. She was essentially starving to death by not having that fat source.
Yeah, gotta eat those fish. Gotta eat those fish if you're surviving.
Well, my goodness, I done learned something new.
So tell us about what Classy Rabbit does.
Sure. Yeah. I think to most people, when they first come across us, they think we're probably just some loud, idiotic potting soil company. They're probably right. But I'd like to think we're a little bit more than that. It's fun to say that we're probably the only soil care company in the world that uses rabbit manure in our products, and I'd have to say that we know of, we're the only company who does this. But we're not actually just about the rabbit manure. We love making the poop jokes. You can probably see the giant backwards poop behind me. That's just our humor. Really, what we're after is building and offering complete products. They're carbon based. They're whole ecosystems that are balanced, structured, and most importantly, out of the bag, they're ready to go. There's no amending. There's no conditioning. We really are the company that kind of pushes against this idea that you need to buy 5 or 6 different products just to get what we already have in the bag.
That's great. So you have a product that's ready to use, so people don't have to buy multiple things. So essentially, that's going to save people in the long run. That's a great idea.
Saves them time, saves them on their chores. It definitely saves them on their budget.
And I'll tell you, I'm a big fan of rabbit poop. Sorry, I've got
that's that. Yeah, go ahead. That's why didn't you just get a whole bunch of poop?
Yeah, I got 4 bags of rabbit poop right now in the backyard, and I just put a whole bunch in a couple of raised beds. And the greatest thing about rabbit poop is that it's not a hot, manure. It's cool. You can put it directly in your beds on your plants. It doesn't need time to cool or cure. From what I know, Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but you can't do that with horse manure, or cow manure, or any of the other, even goat manure. You can do that with, but with rabbit manure, you can throw that directly into your plants.
That's exactly right. There are very few cold manures. Rabbit is one of them, and probably considered the best of those options. But yeah, there's no real composting required. We do compost ours just to make sure that everything is sanitary. But yeah, it is a great resource. The only problem with rabbit manure is they're tiny animals and they don't poop a lot. you have to have a lot of rabbits or access to a lot of them. And fortunately we do, which is what's allow us to keep our product sustainable.
You guys,
So I love that. I'm sorry, I was going to say I love that. So sustainability, working with rabbit poop, it being cold, you can use it immediately, and you don't have to cut it with anything, right?
Boom.
Yeah, we like to tell people it can go straight from their butt to the garden, or straight from the butt to the pot. You don't have to do anything to it. We do, because on its own, it serves one function, but mixed into our products, it serves all of your needs.
I love that, serving all of your needs, much like Retain. So Retain spray here, this is an ad he didn't know. This is a Retain spray. Our Retain spray, it cleans, it lubricates, it stops rust, and it sanitizes. And again, when you are looking something to cut it, like the Classy Rabbit, you can use this spray. It is organic. It is made with oregano oil, right? And it is something that you can order from various places like RetainSpray.com, Amazon.com, and the Walmart.com. So while you're getting you some Classy Rabbit, take care of your tools and spray you somebody's Retain on them today. Let's keep going.
Nice. And guys, if you just joined us, make sure you give Classy Rabbit, that's at Classy Rabbit on Instagram, give them a follow. It really is some great potting mix for your plants, for your ornamentals. You'll be happy that you definitely checked out Classy Rabbit. Now, even though we're talking about Classy Rabbit, we're introducing the audience to Nate. Today's topic is actually supposed to be piggybacking off of what we talked about last week, right, guys? Weren't we talking about nutrients in the soil, kind of demystifying NPK and so forth, right? Now, does anybody remember where we dropped off? Where we stopped? Where did the conversation end? Where did it go?
I think we really kind of left off because we went into micronutrients and macronutrients, but we didn't go too deep. My special brand of short attention span helps me to remember. We stopped off because we talked about soil amendments. We talked about that lightly with our people from Thrive last week, but we wanted to go deeper into macro and micronutrients and how they are important to you as a regular grower.
Yeah, I believe micro was really what we're going to get into, because I feel we all felt kind of like we always talk about macronutrients, right? But we almost never talk about micronutrients. So, I honestly don't know a whole lot about micronutrients. How much of, I don't know. How much I can't even think of right now in my head, but how much iron, how much, like all the other elements that are there, like how much does a plant need? How do you get this to a plant? What's the best source of getting these things to a plant? Yeah. So,
well, you know what? With that being
we
said,
have a master gardener that can help us.
Yeah, I'm about to say something controversial. I'm about to drop the mic here. Here's my drop the mic moment. I don't want to actually drop my mic because it might break it because it's cheap. But my drop the mic moment. All right, so macronutrients. We already know about the nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, right? Micronutrients. A lot of times you'll get a lot of misinformation on these internet spaces. Guys, look, I know everybody's heart is in the right place and you're trying to inform and educate. But honestly, when it comes to micros, your trace elements, you don't really need to add a lot of them. If you are gardening outdoors, now, if we're talking container plants, hey, yeah, we might lose a lot of things through overwatering, through surface area of your plants. Oh, look, we got a screenshot there. What did you screenshot?
Oh, I'm gonna show y'all when they get back on. You keep going. I was making sure something worked.
Oh, okay. But a lot of our trace elements out in a normal garden, if you're talking raised bed, square footage gardening, you don't need a lot of those micronutrients. So this goes back to a myth that I think one of Derek's favorite myths about crunching up eggshells, right? Oh, we got to crunch up the eggshells and we got to put them in the garden, crunch them up, crunch them. No, you don't. We don't need that much calcium. Like if you have a calcium deficiency, there's other available sources for you to get that calcium, but you don't need to just douse your plants in all of this calcium. Help me out, Derek. Am I right or wrong?
You are right. I was pulling up here so Greg could see what y'all couldn't. I have this picture I took in 2013 when I was in university of a paper I got January 24th, 2013 about mineral acquisition and deficiency from my whole plant physiology class, because that's right, I'm a whole freaking plant biologist. When it comes to these nutrients, right, we literally, we're not trying to make strapping football players and titans of our plants. We are trying to keep them alive and support their growth, whether it is developing of roots, whether it's developing of shoots, buds, fruit, beautiful flowers, beautiful fragrances and aroma, some type of underground storage, whatever that may be. And again, for your micronutrients, you don't need a lot. And even of some of the macronutrients, you don't need a lot. There's a thing called fertilizer antagonism, right? Antagonism. They go against each other, right? So I'm going to use an example that's going to be real to us. It is like if I go to Andre's house and I have a piece of watermelon, and he pulls out a slice of cheese, we're going to be antagonistic to each other because I'm not a cheese fan. I never talk about what I don't like. It's fun to talk about what he don't like because he don't like watermelon, y'all. I said it again. We're doing this every episode. When it comes to him not liking these different foods, they work in opposition. So the more watermelon I may have in a space, Andre like, let me go ahead and get out of here. Sorry, I got to go. And when it comes to having a lot of cheese in the place, I'm be like, let me go ahead and take my 2 feet and run. Let me get on the S&S Express and get on out of here. You know what I mean? So that is what fertilizer antagonism is. And when you have too much of a nutrient, it can literally allow the availability of others to go down. So this is where we really want to talk about it so y'all don't mess up your soil and such and your potting mixes.
All right, can I say one thing?
No.
Go ahead.
Sure. What the hell's wrong with your mic? Your mic is just bumpity the whole time.
My mic is bumpity bumping?
Yeah, every time you move.
Oh, you know what? You're not hearing the bumpity bump of the mic. You're hearing the tripod in front of me because I have this set on a very precarious area, right? And that's why. See, this is what happens. I talked about him not liking watermelon, and he was like, I got one for you. Your mic. Anywho, though.
Your horrible mic up in there.
I bet you can hear that, can't you? Can you hear the sound of me not liking watermelon? But anywho, fertilizer antagonism. I'm kicking this thing in front of me. I shouldn't have it too close. I'm too animated, and I have it way too close.
Can I say, though, on the micronutrients, you're right. We don't need a ton of them, but it would be a mistake to say we don't need them at all. Here's why. Those micronutrients, without them, your plants aren't really competing in a normal biological process. Just like our bodies need vitamins, plants need vitamins as well. And this is where Classy Rabbit kind of likes to jab at the NPK folks because they think that's all they need. NPK is important, but it's terribly incomplete if that's all you're focusing on.
You're absolutely right. I'm so glad you mentioned that. Yeah, because that I'm glad you corrected me on that because I don't want you to think you don't need any micronutrients whatsoever. And you're absolutely right. Just like we need, like for instance, B12, right? If you need B12 in your body, or if I need vitamin E in my body, I might have to go get a supplement. So supplemental, additions are okay. But when you start going overboard, that's when it can be a problem. So thank you for mentioning that, Nate. And Andre, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's a great analogy that you made there with the vitamins. Like for most people that have a regular diet, they don't need supplemental vitamins unless they're deficient in something. And in a lot of growing conditions, when you're growing food in soil that's rich or soil that's good, you may not need additional micronutrients as well. But there are cases where your soil is not perfect, or where your diet's not perfect and you need things to help supplement that. And you have something that can provide those things without doing any harm, then that's a good thing.
Yeah.
To fill in the gaps that you may not even know are there.
Yeah, especially in container
Overdoing it.
gardening, you're likely not to have the best food anyway. Yeah.
Mhm.
You want to dump in a bunch of micros? No, but if they're missing, your plant is missing something. You're going to get partial. I would say give your plants the opportunity to grow the way they want to grow instead of force feeding them everything that's available on the shelf at a garden center.
Now we got a comment here. It says, I go to a natural sulfur spring and get gallons of water when my tomatoes start blooming. My tomatoes are so damn good. Trick is only pour it onto one side of your plant.
Why would one
Now-
side of the plant matter? Why would that matter?
Well, that's the question I'd have. How does the plant know which side of it's being fed?
Right.
It's like, hey,
On the left side.
not this side. Probably what you're experiencing is if you do it all around it, it's probably getting too much of it.
That's possible. We'll give it a half
So
share.
you're not wrong. It's just your plant probably doesn't care. If you poured the same amount or half the amount around the entire plant, you probably see the same results.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah. Now, speaking of those micronutrients, because sulfur will kill the microbes, is what they said. Derek, you're a botanist. Sulfur, microbes. Now, I know copper will push away microbes. That's why I'm so anti-electroculture. Yes, I said it. I don't agree with electroculture at all.
I don't either.
But Derek, sulfur, does sulfur deter kill up microbes?
I'm not sure. When they were talking, I had misremembered the fertilizer antagonism between sulfur and I thought with calcium, and I thought an excess of sulfur would take away calcium, and your tomatoes want calcium, but I was actually incorrect. So I'm not sure. Somebody's typing, so I know somebody has the answer. I know somebody's got the answer. Did we get it? No? Okay, no, never mind. But I was like, I hear keys. I hear the clickety clack. Somebody has the answer for us, but I'm not sure. I know in general, like your microbes want an environment that is beneficial to them, but I'm not sure about an excess of sulfur. I could look into that while we're talking though.
Right on.
They're saying it also kills mycelium, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think the thing with your mic, I think, is still happening. Am I the only one hearing this?
I think
You're
the only one
actually
here
not
because I
hearing
picked up on.
this. You're hearing a constant tap. That's actually not me, but I'm going to fix it.
What is that?
We're going to pretend like we don't hear it, so the people
Right,
don't
because
lose the
we're live.
illusion. The people don't lose the illusion.
So
of us
let me
being up here.
show
We should
you
be going
guys. All right, so I'm a show and tell kind of guy. I love to show.
I love this. Show
All right.
us.
And now this is a sweet potato that I've been growing in just a container. Hey there, Kiki D's garden. Yes, we are here live, and we are glad that you are joining us. So going
That
back
is
to the show and
beautiful.
tell, this is a sweet potato, but I want to show you something because we're talking about macronutrients. We're talking about our micronutrients. Well, how do you know when there is a problem when you are missing something in your plants, right? Your plant will tell you. See, and now this is not a flex as a gardener, but I've been doing it for over 20 years. Let's look at the leaves here. Can you guys see those leaves? Do you see the coloration that's in these sweet potato slips?
Oh, those are
It's-
gorgeous.
But what color do you see? Because I'm a little colorblind and I may be wrong. Does that look purple to you?
Green,
Yeah, it's a purplish.
purple and
So
green.
this is a purpley kind of coloration in our sweet potato. That's not the color those slips should be. So what would that this is not to put anybody on the spot. All guests are welcome, and even in the comments, guys. Based off of what you've seen in these leaves, what would you think is going on? And we see a little bit of leaf curl going on here in the leaves. What does your brain tell you might be wrong in these potato slips?
Could it be iron deficiency?
Mm. Yeah, sometimes leaf curl to me, I generally go to either a nutrient or watering deficiency and or a pesticide issue or herbicide issue.
All right, we got any comments? What about Instagram? Instagram say anything? Because I know Instagram loves comments.
One person on YouTube is saying it looks like a part wine stain on the leaves. So they're saying you poured wine on the leaves.
Port wine. Port wine.
Port wine. I do love
a
wine.
port wine. So you poured
Too
wine
much
on those
sun
leaves.
and
Another
water.
person saying too much sun and water, which could happen. Sometimes you get too much sun and they curl away. Okay, we
Right.
love these answers. What are they saying on the Instagram, Andre?
They are saying they don't know. Too much copper, someone said. Not enough magnesium.
Oh, too much copper.
Probably,
No?
it's
Okay.
probably a magnesium or potassium problem.
Boom. See, my buddy Nate. Look, Nate got my back like 4 flats on the Cadillac. That's what I'm talking about. And that's exactly what's going on. It is a lack of potassium and magnesium in this soil. Because the reason being is this is just in a container just to start these slips in some old potting mix that I've had around this house for a while. I have not done any kind of amendments whatsoever. And this has just been sitting here for months. And now we've got these slips going on. But will I lose this plant? No. When I take these outside and I go out to my soil and I start adding, all the amendments that I've added, so forth, this plant will be completely fine. But that purple color does come from a lack of potassium. Now, Andre, do you know any ways that you can add potassium into your soil when it's lacking?
Ooh. Yes.
It's a kind of meal.
Ooh. I'm going to say blood meal.
No, close.
Bone meal. Bone meal.
Bone meal. That's the one. Bone meal.
It's one of them meals.
One of them meals.
Also,
Or Slim Class and Rabbit could do it.
rabbit manure also has just the right amount of potassium for any of your needs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and not a lot, just enough. It's the sweet spot. It's gentle, but it's there.
Right. There you go. See, and that's the wonderful thing that we're trying to get you guys to understand. You don't need to overdo it with a lot of these plants, and then we don't need to freak out. Like if I was maybe a beginner gardener and I saw that purple color, like I literally just had a question from one of my top supporters on Instagram, and she said, "Hey, my tomatoes are purple. What's going on?" And I broke it down to her. I was like, one, tomato starts, honestly, temperature. If it's like around 65 degrees in your house, that could be a reason. Another reason that you have it in a soilless seed starting mix, you might not be getting enough potassium in there. So it could be any of those factors. But once you get it into some soil that has the things that it needs, it'll recover completely fine.
Well, guys, I can think of something that's very low in potassium, and that is the sweet and spicy. This is my pepper sauce. It's absolutely delicious. It's low in salt. It's low in calories. It's all natural. I can't get this thing turned around. Like, it's all natural. Comes in hot and not so hot. It's made with 8 different fruits and vegetables. It's absolutely delicious. I guarantee you'll love it. It's love at first bite. Makes good food great. You can get it at andrethefarmer.com. You can also get it on Amazon now. So check it out. My sweet and spicy pepper sauce. Guarantee you'll love it. It's got mango and pineapple. It's absolutely delicious.
Yeah. By the way, since you're bringing that up, my wife essentially drinks that, and it doesn't matter if it's hot or not. She is going to consume all of it very quickly. Yeah, you've got something there for sure.
Well, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, in fact, when I told her that I was doing you guys' podcast, she's obviously asked who with. I was like, that hot sauce you really like? She said, yeah, that guy.
Let me get your address. I'm going to ship you some for her.
Yeah, hey, how about some tradesies? You send me some, I'll send you some classic.
Oh,
rabbit.
let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, but hey, if we're doing spots here, fertilizing your plants, feeding your plants, macros will not matter if you do not have a healthy soil system. If your microbial life is stunted or altogether missing, those nutrients you put in the soil aren't making it to your plants the right way anyway. It really is about the soil. People ask us, in fact, I just wrote a very funny, I don't know if we'll publish it, but I wrote a funny answer to the question, aren't you guys a fertilizer company, or can you recommend a good fertilizer you guys have? The answer is nope, never, not going to happen. For one reason, we are a full soil care company. We want our products to be the full system. You can intervene all you want with your with your nutrient sources, but if you don't have the right life in the pot in your soil, then those microbes and the beneficial fungi are not going to feed your plants the way that they need to be fed. So, in other words, you need a carbon-rich growing medium so that when you intervene with your nutrients, it can go to work for your plants. Otherwise, all you're doing is asking your plants to take a Monster or Red Bull bath, and then it's gonna look like it's happy for a few minutes, and then it's gonna starve again. Meat and potatoes, that's what you want.
You said a mouthful there. Yeah, because when you are gardening, and this is something that I know we all always say, is that you got to realize you are feeding the soil, you are feeding the ecosystem. So you're absolutely right. Like if we have clay heavy soil and we have no drainage, but we're adding in all this fish emulsion in there, you're not doing anything because your plants are not going to have access to be able to even take that nutrient up whatsoever. So soil structure, soil friability, all of those things, they are very important. And going back to the question that we had earlier, we had a question about rabbit manure and it can be used on our gardens. 100%. One of my buddies who has a master's degree in agriculture, that is the only way he fertilizes his garden. And I'm not going to lie to you. Sometimes I'm jealous and I'm like, dude, why your tomatoes look so great? Well, because he grows and breeds rabbits. So yes, you can totally use rabbit manure for your plants that we eat. It will not harm them whatsoever.
No, in fact, they'll probably be better. If I can, give me a second here. Sorry for this.
What we got?
This is not a garden product. This is indoor, but rabbit manure. I just want to tell you, we put it on the bag just because people need to know. But we have this section called "What's in It," and I'll just read it to you because it's pretty straightforward. We hope you like naturally occurring trace elements and microbial biome found in rabbit manure and compost, because that's exactly what you're getting here. But Classy Rabbit number 2, this product contains nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium, sodium, zinc, iron, copper, manganese, sulfur, and boron. That's not in the compost, maybe some, but that's really coming from the rabbit manure. If you are fertilizing just with straight rabbit manure, your plants aren't going to reject that. They want it, and that's also natural. Think about all the giant natural ecosystems we have just in our own country. Go up to the Northwest and take a look at those giant trees. Keep in mind, they have never benefited from synthetic intervention. It's all animal poop, and a lot of those animals are rabbits.
Very true. Very true. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I would. If I could say one more thing about that, though, if you are going to use rabbit manure, you can dump it straight into your garden. If at all possible, chop it up, grind it up. You want to enlarge or increase the surface area so that those nutrients are more readily available. Turn it into a powder if you can, and then plant with it. Your plants are going to have access to it way faster than just a whole pellet. If you do the whole pellet, think of that as a slow release. If you grind it up and add it, think of that as something a little quicker. Not fast, but readily available.
that is awesome. Yes, and our friend says they're going to rescue a rabbit right now. Don't most plants, here we go, at Lynn Guiden, don't most plants go yellow when they need nitrogen? Sometimes when they're showing a nitrogen deficiency, that can be a yellowing, but you need to look specifically at the plant. I need a prop. All right, so we're going with the pencil cactus here. If I had yellowing that started down, can you guys hear me okay? I'm away from the mic. All right, so when we have yellowing that would start in the foliage down at the bottom and then leaching its way up, that's a sign of nitrogen deficiency. If it's a yellowing that just happens in the tips of the leaves, that could be a chlorosis or something like that. So just because they're yellowing doesn't necessarily mean a nitrogen deficiency. I can't find my book. Oh, here's my book. I have a full entire book of Texas Master Gardener pictures that I can show you each different type of yellowing could mean something entirely. So I don't want you to just think that all yellowing means, oh, you need more nitrogen, because that's a problem we run into with fertilizers and with our nutrient sources. And we think, oh, we're missing this. Let's just dump a whole bunch of this in there and that'll fix the problem. But you could be creating a whole bigger problem.
And a lot of times, like we said earlier, if your plants can't absorb or take in what you're giving them, you're just basically stacking that all up in your soil, and it's not really of any use. Now, we had a question in the comments there, and I think this one's for Derek. Someone asked, I'm going to get the person's name here. Starbucks Chat asked, what's the best way to use coffee grounds in your garden?
The best way to use coffee grounds in your garden is to get you a couple Folgers, right? You go and you get you a Coffee Mate commercial with Dixie Carter. She was in Designing Women. And you drink it, right? But if you wanted to really use some coffee grounds, I thought that would get more of a laugh. Dixie Carter Designing Women. Designing Women.
I thought
it was more. I was going to go more, but I was like, I got to go ahead and do this before Andre says enough of that. When it comes to your coffee grounds, you can use it as a top dressing, like a mulch. You can use it as like a soil humus. You can use it to feed your earthworms, but it is not a beneficial source of nitrogen. I know there are YouTube posts and Pinterest pirates and Facebook felons who will tell you that this coffee grounds will benefit your nitrogen. It's just packed full of nitrogen, and those people are darn dirty liars. So it is something that I will use in my soil just to add another source of carbon, because it's more carbon rich than anything, especially when I'm feeding my earthworms. So that's what I would do.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I love that you said it, because Classy Rabbit's pretty cynical towards most myths and practices. A lot of good advice out there, especially from your farmers. If you can't trust your farmers, who can you trust? By the way,
Exactly.
Classy Rabbit, we're farmers.
Dun, 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 dun,
When
dun.
it comes to the coffee grounds, you have to be careful too, because they're oily. You don't know how they've been cooked in the past. You don't know what they've been mixed with, and they're different. If you have the means, turn it into something incredibly different. Cook those things and turn them into some of those, because they're going to be more beneficial that way anyway. And if you just take wet coffee grounds and throw them into your garden, they're likely to mold. Derek, you're exactly right. Just drink the coffee and maybe throw them in the compost
Watch
pile.
Designing Women.
Yeah. So I appreciate you saying that. It not everything from your house should go into your garden.
Right.
I agree.
Right.
Look,
I feed a lot of that stuff to our chickens. That's good. They'll give me healthy eggs, but not everything that comes from your kitchen, that moldy stuff in the back of the fridge, your plants don't want that either. You didn't want it. Your plants don't want it. Your chickens might eat moldy stuff. Just throw that stuff away.
not chickens.
Derek,
Andre, what you got for me?
I gotta say, earlier someone commented on your locks. They said they looked like they were just done. Were they just done? They looked actually pretty.
They were actually done last week, and you didn't say anything. I actually got off of this live, and I fell against the wall like this, and I tried to play some music to get me into the mood to fall, slide down the wall, and cry, but it started playing circus music. So I had to stop crying, pull myself together, get the Apple Music to do right, make sure I paid my subscription to the Apple Music, and then get my right sad music. But I had them done, actually not even last week. It's been a couple of weeks, actually, because I got them done before I talked to the governor. Thank you. Thank you so much. And
I don't even know how to comment on this. I got nothing. If I can.
Oh, I'm ready for this.
There we go.
There ain't.
You
nothing
know.
there.
Can you do that again?
Right on, brother.
No,
That is always shocking to me. Like when you've imagined a whole head of hair for somebody.
I did. That really took me out of here.
No, I shaved my head probably. Well, I was in the Army, so they shaved it until they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day it just didn't grow back. I don't know if I need some NPK going on up here. But I'll say this.
There you go.
No man in my family, I don't know if any women have been, but no man in my family has ever lost their hair. I'm that guy. I'm that guy.
Wow.
Well, it's supposed to run on the mom side, right? It's supposed to be a gene on the
My pawpaw died at 95 with the same hair he was born with.
Wow.
Wow.
And both my brothers, very thick, curly hair. My hair was white from the time I was born till like 24, and then it was just still white, but much, much less of it. So I just wear a hat all the time. You can imagine everything you want. Maybe the Fabio look. Maybe some locks. I don't know.
I really had a beautiful imagination of what you had under that couch. It reminded me of that SpongeBob movie where the Poseidon took his hat off, and I was like, "Oh my god!" But I didn't want to do you like that. The people had a question, and I don't know if you could answer it, Sir Nate, or any of you, because I've never done this. Have you used charred acorns for silica? I have not.
Yeah, I haven't, and I'll tell you not to, not because there's any meaningful reason, but because Classy Rabbit products actually contain silica, not with acorns, but with rice hulls.
It's funny you mentioned that. Somebody said that.
Yeah, I don't actually know anything about charred acorns. If they have silica, then use it, because silica
it's great.
Wonderful for the roots of your plants.
Yeah.
So if you've got a bunch of trees that give those to you for free, burn them. Don't burn them to ash, but get them to the right temperature and then cool them off immediately. Grind them up if you want. Silica's great. I always go for the silica.
Right.
Well, I say this at Truth Exposed 8975. Do me a favor. Dude, send us an email at the Dirt on Gardening podcast and elaborate more about this silica from the acorns. I think we're all interested in the subject. And at the time, my friend, you have the information. So share it with us and we'll give you a shout out on the next episode. Andre, go for it. You were about to say something.
Yeah, someone had a question on Instagram. I think it was Too Humble to Stumble. Had a question about whether or not they can use sink water to I guess they mean tap water. I guess they said sink water. I don't know if it's water that's already in the sink or coming up. But they said sink water. The water that are seedlings, or do they need to use rainwater?
Oh man.
So it depends on what your city is doing. So like, I won't necessarily use tap water. Say that again.
What you said there in Flint?
If you live in Flint, then maybe not.
Or Mississippi?
Yeah, probably not. Flint, Mississippi. That is real sad. It's still happening. If you live in a place where your water quality is not good, and I don't mean like, oh, I don't drink this, but like you have like off mineralization in your water, very hard water, or like during a certain time of the year, especially where I live, like the water comes out smelling like chlorine because of chloramines, and because of that, it ends up just smelling so terribly bleach-like that all of my plants go through struggles unless I leave it out or I get it really hot and like boil off that chloramine into the air. So I again, I said it depends. I've never seen issues with my seedlings and my plants unless they're cleaning out your water systems in your city, and they do that every year. The way you can know is by looking it up, whatever county you're in, and they would be able to give you that information.
And also, you can actually smell it too, because that's what's going on in Ellis County, which I live in out in Dallas right now. I was going to pour some water from the faucet, and I smelled a very heavy chlorine scent in the water. I was like, oh, they must be dechlorinating or chlorinating the water right now. But what you can do in those instances too, you can boil it off, but then you can also sit it out for like 48 hours too. So that's exactly what I did. I took and poured all the water that I'm going to do my watering this week for my indoor ornamentals. And I literally just sat it outside, and it's going to sit out there for the next 48 hours. And eventually that chlorine will actually dissipate, and it'll be safe to not shock your plants or to chlorinate your plants if we're talking about our ornamentals. Now, my outdoor plants, when this is going on, I'm lucky the fact that I have a 110 gallon rain catchment system. I just switched to rainwater until that chlorine has kind of dissipated in. But it will be different depending on your municipality. So it's going to be different for you. So you might have to look up with your city council to see when they're chlorinating your water. But like I said, I could smell it.
And look, I know I can smell it too. The people are loving your head shape though. And I was like, do got a nice shaped head. You know, that is good. Now, there's a last hack we got here. And for those of you who ask questions, there's a person asked about their hibiscus and their grass on YouTube. We might need to see some pictures and get some more information to be able to help you with your yard problem. Somebody was like, I can't grow radishes. Like, hit us up on our social medias. Our platforms, our handles are the same as our names up here, and you'll be able to get some more in-depth help from the people. Have any of you ever heard of the fermented yeast method of fertilizing?
I've heard of it. I've never tried it.
Great. What about you, Gray? You heard of this?
I've heard of it, but I haven't done enough research to see how valid it is, because I was actually interested in taking a course in fermentation with Texas A&M over the winter break. Then I got busy with all of the different things I'm doing. So I never learned any more about fermentation. And whenever I'm not 100% sure on something, one, I won't regurgitate that information until I know it like lock and step. Two, I haven't tried it out on my plants yet because I don't know enough information. So no, the short answer is no, I haven't tried.
Dope. I've seen something on this, but I want to make sure I'm quoting the right thing. So Gwen Turner, if you give us like a hit, you hit me up. If it's what I think it is, it's one of the many things that could potentially help your plants, because I feel like the premise is supposed to be you use like your sourdough culture, your gingerbread culture, your other cultures to try to make a fertilizer or an amendment is what it really should be, to allow your soil's microbial content to go up and to be able to fertilize your plants with the yeast and the sugars and all this other stuff. But some of it is like kind of rooted in science, but then it kind of gets rooted in Looney Tunes. So
yeah. Because honestly, I mean, it could be very close to that whole banana water myth too, because a lot of times people, take those banana peels, sit them in a jar of water, let it sit for like 4 or 5 days and ferment. And I'm like, oh, now I got fertilizer. No, you don't. No, you don't. Stop it.
You got banana wine.
Oh, what you got there? That kombucha?
You wouldn't even believe this. This is banana water. I did this months ago, and I am going to eventually get this looked at, because if it's been sitting for months at this point, it should be the most, as y'all's cousin Hamilton would say, the most fertilizer-packed things in the world. You know what, Nate? If I was this type of person, we should find our cousin Hamilton and take his hair and give it to you.
There you go.
That means a lot. I didn't know I was going to be cared for so much on this podcast.
We are here for you.
I feel it. I feel it. I don't cry much. I'm going to wait until we cut. And then
I have the soundtrack for you already. I cried last week. So this is great. I'll give you the music. This will be perfect.
Hey, I got to tell you one more thing that happened to me when I was in the garden this weekend. It's been so cold. There's one thing we haven't had to worry about. And it warmed up a little bit. And all of a sudden, I feel peck, mosquitoes. And you know what I did? I got my Sonia's bug spray. And once I had my Sonia's bug spray, I didn't get bothered again. This stuff is the most amazing bug spray. This is the refill bottle, because I refill my little sprayers all the time. And I don't have my spray bottle here because it's outside where it belongs, right there where the mosquitoes bother me. And this stuff is made from all natural stuff. It's pretty much every product that we sponsor on this show. It's all natural stuff. You can get it at soniasbugspray.com. It feels like lotion. I've even used it in a pinch as lotion, and it smells amazing. It does not feel like bug spray. I hate to call it bug spray because it doesn't feel like bug spray. Also a great afterbite as well. It's also a great afterbite as well. So check it out, soniasbugspray.com. Amazing stuff.
Just Photoshop it in.
We're going to AI it. We're going to AI it in here.
Yeah.
So there was a person here who said the only way to remove chloramine is to use a high-grade filter. So I want you to know, person that said that, there are filter ways you can do it, but it does evaporate out into a space. I know that because I formerly worked at a greenhouse where we use tobacco to produce vaccines. And that building, depending on where you are in the system of your water ways, like the way you get water from the city, some of us who are closer to the plants get more of a chloramine hit, right, than others. So my house and my job, which are a decent amount away from each other, got a big hit. So watering plants in a whole greenhouse smells like a pool. It literally was like evaporating out, right? So it is a heat thing. I did see somebody else say like 5 days. It can take 5 days. And I've seen things saying a day, 48 hours. It depends on temperature and your setup. This is where, again, I just do hot water because Gray is so zen and he's so patient. And I am quite the opposite. I am like, get this stuff done and get it out of here, right? And Derek does know these are different chemicals. I looked this up years ago and fell down a rabbit hole as to why my water came out smelling like bleach. I went down. It was mason jars full. I was getting sick. The plants were getting sick. They were dying. I was like, what's going on? I fell up against this wall again. Different music, though, that time, Andre. You had a different playlist. And I fell down the wall. And I was like, what is happening with me? And it just went down the hill. But we do need to have these beautiful discussions like this so we can know what's going on with our plants to be able to bless the people and bless ourselves. I'm here for it.
That's 2 more questions. Oh, go ahead, Greg.
Yes.
Well, I just wanted to say one thing that does not have any chlorine or chloramine, for that matter, in it is Thrive Roots. Thrive Roots, another sponsor of the show. Thrive Roots is an organic soil booster that will help your plants with their terpene profiles and increase the aroma, increase the roots, and are good for your soil. And again, this is not a fertilizer. Just like we told you last week, it is not a fertilizer. So this will not burn your crops. Back to you, Andre.
All right. We have 2 questions I want to come in. Someone said that they had, they just bought an alocasia plant, like a big one. Apparently they want to repot it. What kind of soil mix would you use for an alocasia?
Oh, Nate, you got this one, right?
Hey, something like this, probably.
Derek, put him on a big screen.
Oh, he is. I'm ahead of you.
Yeah, just so you know, nothing grows in alocasia comfortably. But our lead horticulturalist says ours. I agree with them. We made it for the most common plants. But you want something chunky? We even say it's probably going to be backwards, but this does say keep it.
It says
chunky,
keep it chunky, keep it loose.
Yeah. ClassyRabbit.com. You can go find it there. That is a legitimate answer, not a product spot.
That's a great answer right there.
I
Now,
love that answer.
we also had a question from Melvin who asked, can they use baby shampoo to keep bugs off their plants?
A baby shampoo. I got an idea. Because this sounds like, I feel like, I'm going to jump straight into this one because what this person is trying to do, it sounds like it's something where you're using what you got to get what you need. So you have this baby shampoo, which is supposed to be more safe for the eyes. It's supposed to be more gentle. You want to use a more gentle detergent. And you're like, I want to use this. If it is a plant that is tough, I would risk it for the biscuit. If it is a plant that I care about, I would go and get something like a plain Dawn dish soap. Like any dish soap, to be honest. Payne, Jane, dish soap, no extra stuff in it, no fragrances, no bleach, no lemon, any of that stuff, or some Castile soap. I use Dr. Bronner's in here. I go and get that. I can spray it on my plants, and I'm good. So if you're looking like, hey, I don't really want to spend a lot of money, like go to the Dollar Tree, the Dollar General, get you some regular detergent or the regular dishwashing liquid.
You are cutting it though, right? We're talking about cutting that soap with the water. We don't want you to think you're just dousing the whole entire plant with soap.
Oh yeah, I should be very specific. You're right. Because in my mind, I'm like, you're watering it down. So you're making a soapy solution, not super sudsy, because you're not washing a car, but you are just killing your bugs. And how does it work for those of you who are like, how does it work? Insects, most of the soft-bodied insects, most insects in general, don't have lungs like we do, right? They breathe out of their exoskeletons. And because they breathe out of their exoskeletons and that holes make air go in and out, right? If you cover those holes up, then they go up to the upper room. But you can't do that with like a bunch of little plugs. So you you get it. So you get a soapy solution and it frankly stops their breathing and then they pass out. This is also why I use like soapy solutions in the kitchen to get rid of insects so I don't have to worry about spraying anything. So yeah.
All right, we're almost out of time. I want to say 2 things. One, someone asked for an update on the pink glow pineapple. I think it's probably dead. It's in the ground. It's probably dead outside. It might bounce back. I don't know For sure. But my one house plant that I got from Gray, I've never had a house plant before. It is a Thai constellation, and it has 4 leaves now. And you gave it to me, it had like 2.5 or 3. Now it's got 4 leaves and it's growing. So, anyways, that's the end of the show, guys. Thanks for coming. Thanks for Nate for being here. Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked it, follow, subscribe, share with your friends. You can see the replays on Spotify now and also on Apple Podcasts. You can see it on our YouTube and our Instagram pages as well. Any parting words there, Nate?
Oh, I'm sorry. You may have cut out there.
He said, any final words? What you got for us?
What you got?
Oh, man. I don't know. I'll just, I'd love to hang out with you guys again.
Please
You're
come on
welcome.
back. We would love to have you, brother.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanksgiving, Christmas, whatever.
Come on over.
Come on over.
Let's do it.
Well, guys, it's been amazing. See you later.
All right. See you guys. Take care. See you next week.